Imagine yourself an animal that when you put it into an aquarium you start wondering if it's about to dismantle your filter or unscrew the light bulb. Now imagine yourself, but with 8 arms and over 250 fingers. That's exactly how octopuses live. You might ask yourself how it's possible for an octopus to control all of that independently and still do it with precision. The answer lies in its brain, or rather, its brains, because octopus intelligence works very differently from ours. In this video, I'll answer a whole series of fascinating questions about these incredible invertebrates. Let's begin. Before fish, dinosaurs, or even trees appeared, the earth was covered by oceans filled with creatures that are difficult to imagine today. In those ancient waters, animals with hard shells, armor, and spines dominated. Protection was the key to survival. The ancestors of modern octopuses also had armor, a hard shell they could retreat into. It was safe, but it had one flaw. It was heavy, slow, and made escape nearly impossible. As faster and more intelligent predators appeared in the oceans, armor stopped being enough. Evolution faced the choice. Either build thicker armor or try something completely different. Some cephalopods chose the radical option. They abandoned the shell. Without it, the body became soft, flexible, and vulnerable. But in return, something entirely new appeared: freedom of movement. An octopus can squeeze through an opening the size of its own eye. It can change the shape of its body. It can disappear in a fraction of a second. But losing the shell meant one thing: there was no longer room for mistakes. Deciding where to hide, when to flee, and when to attack became a matter of life and death. At that moment, evolution gave them something far more valuable than armor: intelligence. Instead of protecting their bodies, octopuses began protecting themselves with strategy, planning, learning, and a completely new way of processing information. It was the beginning of one of the most extraordinary evolutionary paths on Earth. A path that led to an animal whose brain does not exist only in its head, and one that still challenges our definitions of intelligence. But to understand how that's possible, we first need to ask a simple question: why do animals need a brain at all? At first glance, the answer seems obvious. A brain is for thinking. But in the animal world, that's only part of the truth. The brain did not evolve to solve puzzles or plan the future. It evolved to make decisions in a world full of danger. The more complex the environment, the more predators, the more possible choices, the greater the pressure to process information quickly and efficiently. For some animals, a simple nervous system was enough. In others, the brain became a command center. But in octopuses, evolution went even further. Instead of one brain controlling everything, a system emerged, in which the entire body thinks. When we think of a brain, we imagine a single control center, one place that commands the whole body. In octopuses, that model doesn't apply. Yes, an octopus has a brain in its head, but that's only part of the story. Most of its neurons are not in the head, they are in the arms. Each arm has its own local nervous system, often referred to as mini-brain. And to be precise, it's not a separate brain. It's not a center of consciousness, and it's not a decision-making organ in the human sense. In reality, each arm contains a chain of nerve clusters, a dense network of sensory and motor neurons. The octopus's brain says grab, and the arm decides how. When an octopus reaches for an object, its brain does not plan every movement. Each sucker operates independently. The arms know what to do. It's as if you had 8 arms, each capable of exploring the environment on its own, grasping objects and reacting, while you only set the goal. And those suckers are not only for gripping. They can taste and detect chemicals in the water. An octopus literally tastes the world with its entire body. This system has enormous advantages. It is fast, flexible, and adaptive. One arm can explore a crevice, another manipulate prey, while a third simultaneously monitors the surroundings. But this system also comes at a cost. The octopus does not have full central control over every movement. Its brain coordinates rather than commands. Distributed intelligence, more a network than a headquarters, and that is why octopus behavior can be so unpredictable to us. They do not operate like mammals, they do not operate like fish, they follow a completely different logic. Since the body is soft and lacks armor, every part of it must be able to think. It is, in a way, an evolutionary experiment. Octopus intelligence has spread throughout the entire body, and that affects not only movement, but also how they perceive and control the world around them. At first glance, it looks like magic, a change of color, pattern, even skin texture in a fraction of a second. But this is not simple background matching. Octopus skin is an advanced sensory organ. It contains millions of specialized cells. Chromatophores, iridophores, and leucophores. Chromatophores control color, iridophores produce metallic reflections, and leucophores reflect light. Together, they form a system that works faster than any human-made technology. Importantly, this change is not about copying the environment. An octopus does not see a rock and think to itself, "Now I will become a rock." It interprets the environment. Its brain recognizes the type of surroundings, sand, rocks, seaweed, and activates pre-programmed modes. Camouflage is not used only for hiding. Octopuses also use it for communication. It can signal warning, dominance, stress, or even courtship. In one moment, the animal may be almost invisible to a predator, and a second later send a clear signal to another octopus. Interestingly, many of these reactions occur without conscious control. Cephalopod skin can respond locally to light, shadow, and movement. Another example of distributed intelligence. Some decisions are made not in the head, but directly in the body. As a result, octopuses do not merely see light. They shape themselves with it, disappear within it, or use it as a tool. The octopus body appears simple. A soft head, 8 arms, and no bones. But it is one of the most unusual bodies in the animal kingdom. No skeleton, no skull, no ribs. Its body is essentially one large muscle that allows it to stretch, twist, and squeeze through openings that seem physically impossible. It has 3 hearts. 2 pump blood through the gills. 1 supplies the rest of the body. Its blood is not red, it contains copper instead of iron, which makes it blue. This chemistry allows better oxygen transport in cold water. Each arm is a separate tool, for walking, for grabbing, for tasting the world. This body was not built for strength, it was built for control. Instead of teeth, it has a beak. It can drill holes in the shells and crush the armor of crabs. And it can regenerate. If an octopus loses an arm, it will eventually grow back. And what do we often confuse octopuses with? Cuttlefish, squid, sometimes even jellyfish. But they are completely different animals. Octopuses have 8 arms, and only 8. Squid and cuttlefish have 8 arms and 2 additional tentacles. Cuttlefish have an internal shell. Squid have a rigid internal pen. Octopuses have neither. It is precisely the absence of a shell that made them so flexible, and so dependent on intelligence. All of them are cephalopods, but each group followed a different evolutionary path. Octopuses are predators, but they do not rely on strength or speed. They hunt with strategy. Their diet consists mainly of crabs, mollusks, and fish. They can unscrew shells, drill into armor, and sometimes use venom to paralyze prey. Their hunt is a process: observation, testing, decision. They can capture animals several times larger than themselves. A reminder of how powerful intelligence can be in the animal world. And yet, despite all this intelligence and ability, an octopus's life is surprisingly short. Most species live only 1 to 3 years. No long childhood, no slow aging. Their life is an intense sprint. They grow quickly, learn quickly, and disappear quickly. Reproduction is its final chapter. Females lay thousands of eggs and guard them for weeks. They do not eat, they do not hunt, they do not leave the nest. All their energy is devoted to one task: protecting the next generation. When the young hatch, the female is already exhausted. Soon after, she dies. A brutal strategy, but effective. No second chances. The entire life of an octopus exists for that one moment to matter. In captivity, octopuses can recognize individual humans. Some they ignore, others they can't stand. There are documented cases of them deliberately spraying water at keepers they disliked. They opened jars, dismantled aquariums, learned by observation, and sometimes they formed connection. The Netflix documentary My Octopus Teacher shows something rare. Filmmaker Craig Foster, diving in South African kelp forests, encountered an octopus, Octopus vulgaris. At first the animal feared him, but after diving daily for weeks, Foster gained its trust. The octopus showed genuine curiosity towards Homo sapiens. It seemed to take interest in contact, and even appeared to guide him along the ocean floor. Not friendship in the human sense, but a relationship. Evidence that intelligence can take forms we do not fully understand. For a long time, octopuses were considered solitary animals. Each lives alone, hunts alone, dies alone. Until scientists discovered something unusual. On the ocean floor, near Australia, a cluster of octopuses was found. It was named Octopuses. It was not a colony, no queen, no hierarchy, but there was something else. Dozens of octopuses living close together, sharing space, tolerating one another. Behavior that challenged everything we thought we knew. Some defended their dens, others negotiated space. Conflicts occurred, warning signals appeared. Octopolis is not a city in the human sense, but it may be the beginning of social behavior in a species we believed to be solitary. Perhaps another expression of intelligence that does not need words. Octopus size can be astonishing. The largest known species, such as the giant Pacific octopus, reaches an average arm span of about 2.5 meters. Record individuals have exceeded 9 meters and weighed over 19 kilograms. At the other extreme, the smallest species, Octopus wolfi, grows to only 2.5 centimeters, about the size of a small finger. These contrasts show how diverse evolution can be within a single group, from microscopic masters of camouflage to giants dominating their environment. Of course, this video presents the topic in condensed form, only as an introduction to the world of octopuses. Thank you for watching and see you next time.